Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. I'm Cody. With me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, buddy?
Not too much. I'm back at school, as you guys can see if you're watching on YouTube. I know the ones that are listening, you aren't going to be able to tell a difference, but me and Cody are separated once again. And, I got my own little corner set up, got some flags. I got a nice little Orioles flag for Christmas and stuff. So,
yeah, man,
up in the production.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Is it cold there? Did you guys get any snow?
Yesterday it snowed just about all day, and we got probably like 4 to 6 inches. And I called my mom on the way back from class earlier because telling her I just needed a distraction from the cold. It was 14 degrees and felt like 1.
Oh wow!
So it's
good old
pretty
Pennsylvania
rough.
Winter, huh?
Yeah, and it's only supposed to get colder this week, so I'm regretting coming up north more from where I'm from for school.
Well,
but
if it helps, I think in Delaware today, I think the low's like 7.
Dang.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. It's a cold one.
Yeah, I mean, it snowed 2 weeks ago. We still have an inch of snow on the ground.
But there's enough snow. There's enough ice. You get out, go have some fun in the snow. I know it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yeah, so record on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't have schools, so you could go do what I did last night and get your friend to pull you behind his car with a tow strap and get drug around a parking lot.
There you go. Yeah. Just try not to die. That's kind of the goal.
We didn't. I'm still here, obviously.
Yeah. Right. Well, we got some interesting news this week and today. We'll get to today's news. The Orioles have not been making too big of a splash, but there hasn't been many teams making as big of a splash as the good old Dodgers. Because good God, man. Good God.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not in the NL West, because if you're a Padres fan or a Diamondbacks fan or a Giants fan, Rockies, it really doesn't matter for you guys. But I feel bad for you because you're going to have to go up. There's no easy day. I mean, I'm looking at what their projected rotation is, and there's a few question marks, but if they stay healthy and live up to expectation, I think this has potential to be one of the best rotations ever assembled. When Yoshinobu Yamamoto, your $300 million pitcher, is maybe your 3 or 4 starter, I'd say that's a pretty good rotation. I mean, you got Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, who's coming back, Yamamoto, and then Roki Sasaki, who just signed for less than $6 million. I mean, they're really piecing it together, and it's just I don't even know what to say to it.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been listening to radio hosts, national radio hosts, MLB Network and everything, and it's amazing how they just think it's great. Because obviously their ratings are going to be great. The Dodgers play. I think I can't remember what it is, but I think the Dodgers have 40% of Sunday Night Baseball in the first half of the season. You know what I mean? So every time you turn on Sunday Night Baseball, you're going to be on the East Coast. You're going to be watching baseball at 8:30, and it's going to be a day game, and across the country. That's always odd. And then, but the other issue I have right now is, they're all like, well, you know what? Every owner has money. They don't have this kind. I mean, this is this is the largest disparity I've ever seen. I don't know. It's a little embarrassing, because you don't see it happen pretty much anywhere else, for this long. I mean, you'll see in the NBA it happen for like a 2-year span, because they just can't give out the kind of contracts. But this is crazy. And I mean, the problem with the Sasaki deal is that's nothing. They didn't give out nothing because of how messed up the whole international signing is. So that's why anybody can afford him, but he gets to choose wherever he goes. I mean, your number one draft pick in America can't do that. Then why can your number one international pick be able to choose wherever he wants to go?
Well, I can tell you really the meaning behind that is that the international players, they don't have that draft, and it boosts the economy of some of these countries. And I know in the last CBA deal, it was kind of put out there that they were looking for a deal to be made for an international draft that would throw. I mean, you'd have someone like Roki Sasaki, he'd be the first pick, but you'd have your Yamamotos when they're still getting up to over 25, so come over as a free agent. But these young guys, they, instead of having to go through a few years in Japan playing professional baseball, they can just go straight to the draft. But I mean, it's definitely an interesting one. It's a hot mess.
Yeah, I mean
they
the
spent
the NBA has their international players go straight into the draft.
yeah,
What
exactly. I mean, that's
the Wizards picked the one dude, second pick overall.
yeah, Alex
Uh,
Sarr.
and then the other issue is, the other complaint is, well, if they go to a salary cap or anything, going to hinder these sales of, or how much money the Dodgers and stuff can make. And my argument can be us as we're Dallas Cowboys fans, and they're not winning. They're doing just fine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Jerry's not losing a cent.
No. So it's one of those things where you can keep making excuses for these billionaires or whatever you want, because I don't blame the players. I don't blame Tanner Scott for signing with them.
Absolutely not.
Nothing. No,
I mean,
I don't blame them. It's baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you gotta think you're Tanner Scott. You get offered millions and millions of dollars to go pitch when a few 5 years ago you were pitching for the Orioles, and it kind of seemed like you were good, but you weren't really living up to expectations and stuff. And now you're here. I mean, you can't turn down that money. Or Blake Snell, who has been. I mean, you want to sign a big deal, the Dodgers are going to give it to you. I'd tell you right now, if I was a baseball player, I'd want to go play for the Dodgers, not just because of the money. The chances that you have to win a World Series are so high. I mean, think of Tanner Scott. He's played for the Marlins and the Orioles for most of his career. There's no shot at winning with those two teams. Go somewhere that you're going to have a shot to pitch in a World Series.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, remember you're a kid, you'd play travel ball. You have a chance to play with this really, really good team that's going to win a lot of tournaments and travel, or you can go and play with this other team that's, just decent.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to go to the good team.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are still playing to win. You know what I mean? So, so anyway, that's our Dodger talk. They're going to be good. Luckily, we don't have to worry about them until the World Series.
Yeah. And
make magic happen with Emily at Blue Crab Travel, your Disney vacation expert. Ready to experience the wonder of Disney? Let her help you plan the ultimate Disney getaway. Whether you're heading to Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or a Disney cruise, she has you covered. Emily can take care of custom Disney itineraries, tailored to your family's needs and preferences. She also can help find you exclusive discounts on Disney hotels, tickets, and packages. Imagine a stress-free vacation with hassle-free booking for accommodations, dining reservations, and fast passes. From character meet and greets to thrilling rides, Emily will make sure every moment is unforgettable. Email Emily Jones today at emilyjones@bluecrabtravel.com to start planning your dream Disney vacation.
While we get into our Oriole segments, which is obviously most of it, I do have a little piece of trivia that I will put out a warning. It's kind of like a content advisory. Most of the people that listen to our podcast aren't going to like the first portion of this, because I did write my trivia question prior to Sunday Night Football, and the Ravens were supposed to win that. I thought they were going to beat the Bills, and I kind of went into that. I'm a Cowboys fan. I was rooting for them, but
I was too. Yep.
I was kind of hoping they were making it to the championship game, because that would really help me with this question. But so the last time they went to the Super Bowl was 2013.
Okay.
And what was the Orioles starting five in 2013?
2013 Orioles starting five. Tillman?
Chris Tillman. Yes, he was our ace.
Miguel Gonzalez?
That was our number 2 guy.
Win-Yan Chen?
Yes, he was number 4.
Okay, I got the good ones out. All right.
Yep. You got the ones I expected you to get. One of these I don't expect you to get at all.
Bud Norris wasn't there.
Bud Norris was actually our 6th starter. He started the 6th most games. So,
okay.
But
was Jason Hamill there?
That was our number 3. Yes, with a
Okay.
negative .3 WAR on the season.
We traded him from the Cubs.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was a big trade for us.
Then you got one more.
Gosh. Bryant Mattis?
No, yeah. So he only spent the 2013 season with us. He previously spent from 2005 to 2012 with the Texas Rangers.
2012. Texas Rangers.
Scott Feldman.
Scott Feldman. God, his name came up the other day. I don't know why. But yeah, wow. I wouldn't have guessed him. No, that's crazy.
No. So it's definitely interesting looking back. I mean, there's the names you remember, and then the names you don't have any clue or any semblance of even knowing they pitch for the Orioles sometimes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, that's what the one name that I saw when I was looking through the 2013 roster is that Travis Ikesawa was on their team. And of course, I don't remember him for anything but his walk-off home run with the Giants in 2010 in the playoffs. That was the NLCS.
I don't even remember that.
Massive home run for the Giants. That's the only moment I know for. Would have never guessed that he ever played for the Orioles.
Oh, he played
But-
for. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played in 2013 for us.
It does that.
Yeah.
I feel like I
But-
would remembered that jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you would have thought. But the one jersey you will have to start remembering is maybe an Andrew Kittredge.
I love that. I love that.
So
Yes.
we signed him to a 1-year, $10 million deal with an option for 2026. And this is honestly my favorite move of the offseason.
Absolutely.
We need it. I don't like it. This cannot be the stop. This can't be the end, though. We need another reliever. But he had a great season, a 2.8 ERA in 74 games. He's not a closer, but I think he's a really good option. He is your setup man. He pitches in the 8th innings a lot. And I think that takes some of the pressure away from Yennier Cano because we've seen him. He'll get into his swings where he is dominant, and then he'll struggle in the high leverage spots every once in a while. And he's a good guy. He's really reliable. He's going to give you the innings. He's going to give you exactly what you need from him. I mean, I look at some of his stats and stuff, and it's outrageous what he does.
Right. Oh, I completely agree. I cannot be more excited for him, especially for like the price we paid for him.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
And I mean, if I look at some of these stats for him, I look at some of the more advanced stats, and these aren't even hard advanced stats. It's so there's a high leverage index that Baseball Reference has, and it's just saying how high was the leverage. 1 is medium leverage, below that's low, higher than that's high leverage, and he has some of the highest high leverage numbers. He came into 42 high leverage spots out of his 74 games. I mean, that's behind people like Aroldis Chapman, David Robertson, Emmanuel Clase, these great closers, and he's above some other even better closers.
Yeah. Yeah. So looking at their bullpen real quick, I mean, the Orioles bullpen, the one thing that is starting to look decent is our bullpen, right? So obviously we got King Felix, that every Mariners hate, but we got Felix Bautista as our closer. And then under him is now Kittredge. And then right on his tail is Sir Anthony Dominguez. Okay, people are forgetting about him from last season. Then Cano, obviously, we don't forget about him. He just needs help. We need to take a break, give his arm a break. And then I know people don't want to hear this, but we still have CNL Perez and Aiken, who also can, help with that, So
Yeah.
I think, and then I think we have some of the best long relief, if I can say that. We have Albert Suarez, and then when Tyler Wells comes back, I think our our 6th inning guys, if your 6th inning guy, in my opinion, is Albert Suarez and Tyler Wells, I mean, this is, if you're not a true Orioles fan, you don't even know what we're talking about right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great, we have looking at our starting pitching, we're going to need 6th inning guys.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we got some great guys. Andrew Kittredge was 2nd in major leagues in holds. He had 37 holds.
Oh, I didn't
Cano
know.
was 4th with 34. And then a little bit farther down the list, around 15, was CNL Perez, who had 22. So that's a lot of guys that are holding the score. When you're winning, you're going to keep it there and get us over to the mountain in the bullpen.
Yeah. And think about it, I strongly believe, I bet Cano had many more chances than Kittredge did, So it's one of those things where hopefully he can help us. In my mind, I love that signing. I didn't have, I was super excited for it.
Yeah, I think we got a steal on him because we're paying him less money than Sugano and Charlie Morton, which that's insane to me that he's getting less than these guys because I think and it's not even because he's just recently been good. I mean, he's had some great stints the past few seasons with the Rays. I mean, he was an all-star in 2021.
Yeah.
He had a 1.88 ERA that year, 3.15 in 2022, 2023 at a 3.09, last year 2.8. He's been, you know what you're getting with this guy.
Yep,
and that's why
absolutely.
I really like this deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Absolutely.
if you want to move on to one of my other guys that I was talking about is Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
He good old Uncle Charlie. He's a little bit older than the players on our team. He's definitely bringing our average age up, but I think he's also going to bring the experience up.
Yeah, and
that's what we got him for, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, I like Charlie Morton. I think he's a great pitcher. I just was hoping. This is the problem with the Charlie Morton signing. I think Orioles fans are hating a little bit on Charlie Morton when it's not his fault that the Orioles didn't sign a bigger name. You know what I mean? So I think Orioles fans aren't mad at Charlie Morton. They're mad that of all the people we passed on. I think that's the issue. Like if we would have gotten, I don't know, just another name, say we got a Snell, right? And then you sign Charlie Morton. You're like, oh, that's great depth. That's perfect. But I think the problem is we're Orioles fans and we know that they think Charlie Morton's going to be a 2. And that's the frustrating part. Sort of like last year when we signed Kimbrel. And everybody on God's green earth, except for the Orioles front office, knew that Kimbrel wasn't a closer. And when it didn't happen, the front office acted like they couldn't believe it didn't happen. And meanwhile, all of us going, no, we saw it. I mean, we watched Phillies games last year, 2 years ago. We know. So that's my problem. I think Charlie Morton's is going to give you innings. I think that's going to help. That's my fear with Grayson is Grayson doesn't give you innings right now. I think that's the only thing that's preventing him from being an ace. Even though he has to be our ace, we don't have a choice. Yeah. But anyway, if Charlie Morton can get you and have a 12-8 record, I think we'll take that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at some of his underlying stats, it's not as bad as it looks. I mean, last season he had a 99 ERA plus, which is 1 point below league average. And when you think about it that way, it's not terrible. I think it's just you sometimes, anytime you hear an ERA that's in the fours, you instantly think it's just awful. Yeah. But I mean, the season before he had a 120 ERA plus, so that's 20% better than league average. So I mean, it's not awful, and I think he's here to teach some of our young guys. We have a lot of young pitchers. I mean, look at Cade Povich, Chase McDermott. They're going to be coming up this season to pitch. They're going to play roles in this team. And whether Charlie Morton steps back and doesn't even start the whole season and goes to a long-term relief role, or just serves as a mentor to some of these young guys, I mean, that's what we've done lately. We've had that older free agent. Yeah. The Kyle Gibson, the Jordan Lyles, the Corbin Burns. I mean, obviously he's a little bit different than some of the other older guys that we bring in, but it's still a mentor to these young guys to show what professionalism is in the league and to really how to perform at the highest level. I mean, he's won 2 World Series in the past few seasons.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, I pinched in the World Series clincher, right? Yeah. And I mean, if you want to create a devil's advocate argument on me right now, and which is easily done, is when they've done this, it's worked. Like when we signed Kyle Gibson a few years ago, we were like, what the crap? And then we were kind of sad to see him go because he did so well for it. He did so good for it. Yeah. We almost wanted him back this year. You know what I mean? It was like one. Yeah. And Jordan Lyles, he did good for us. He did his job. I mean, did good. So we've yet to have a starting pitcher that this regime has signed, except a starting pitcher. Let me
starting pitchers. Okay. Signed. Yeah, signed. Not trades don't. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about signed. I mean, it's yet to happen, right? So, really, I'll be honest, the only time was Kimbrel. Yeah. All pitchers, right? Of like a big signing. The only one that didn't work is Kimbrel. And you're hoping that it's not because they're afraid to sign people. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're being super, super sketched out on what they do, because these other teams aren't. These other teams are getting people. But yeah.
Well, that's like what makes me feel better a little bit about this too is if you look at Jeff Hoffman, he would have been an Oriole if it wasn't for something in the physical, and the Braves also had that same issue with him. Yeah. And with knowing that, it makes me feel better that it wasn't just us because I trust the Braves front office much more than I trust our front office. So I mean, look at the deals they've done lately. Look at the extensions they signed. They know how to do it. Alex Anthopoulos is a genius, but that there was some concern there. We had the higher offer on the table. That shows we're not afraid to spend, which yet again questions why we haven't been spending as much. But I don't know. I mean, I think he just has more of an internal faith on what's going on in the team. Maybe he knows of a trade that's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe. Really question mark move of the offseason for me is this guy, though. I don't know what to expect from Tomoyuki Sugano.
Good
we
job.
Got him. It's not that hard of a name, Cody.
No, I mean, yeah.
It's the Sussex County.
That was good. That was quick. You're ready to if they need a PA announcer. I am practicing.
I'm trying to become the new interpreter for the Dodgers.
Oh yeah.
And Mr. Ohtani, I will not steal your money.
You need to know.
I will not bet. I don't sports bet Mr. Ohtani.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, we signed him for a 1 year, $13 million, which is more than he made in a single season ever in Japan. I actually did the trend. If you look on Google, it really makes you wonder how much money he gets paid because you look, and it says that he was paid $800 million. And then you realize that that's the Japanese currency, which converts to a little bit over $5.5 million.
That's a big difference.
And then I tried my hardest, guys. I do promise that I really researched into this. And the best I could come up with was numbers from 2021, is that I think he's one of the highest paid players in MPB history. The only pitcher that I could find that got paid higher than him in a single season was Tanaka, from the guy that went from the Yankees back to Japan. He's the only person that made more money, which is wild to think. Is that, I mean, he is a legend over there. Like, I mean, insane.
So
stats,
are you saying we got Ichiro, but the pitcher version? What you're saying?
I think he basically is like his. If you look at his stats, his highest ERA in a full season was 3.89, and that was in 2019. Do you want to know what his lowest ERA was?
What?
1.59 in 2017. But last year he had his second lowest with a 1.67 ERA.
Gotcha.
He's had 4 full seasons with an under 2 ERA, and then add another 3 seasons with sub 3. If he can translate his success from Japan over to the major league level, it's a steal.
Yeah.
I just don't know that he can. He's 35. He throws it slow. I mean, we basically got 2 of the same pitchers with Morton and Sugano. They're both old. They both don't throw fast. But Sugano, like many other Japanese pitchers, his velocity might not be the thing, but he is deadly accurate.
Yeah.
He's going to pinpoint. He's going to make his stuff work. He's going to work the at-bats. And we'll see what happens. I don't even really know what to think of it past that, though.
Yeah, I agree. We don't know. It's hard to even talk about because obviously we don't watch a ton of Japanese baseball. So, the only time, no, I was going to say the only time I watched Japanese baseball, but I watched the KBO when it was during COVID.
COVID.
Remember,
yeah,
they
that's
opened.
all there was.
Before, they opened. But yeah, so other than highlights, we don't know. And then even the highlights, you just don't know how to translate it because to me, the Japanese baseball league is a level above.
It's like a quadruple A to me.
Like triple A. Yeah. It's a level above, but it's not.
I definitely think, like he was on the Giants, I believe, in Japan. I believe they could beat like the Norfolk Tide. But if they were to come and play Major League Baseball, I don't know if they're they're probably better than the White Sox, but I think the White Sox AAA team is probably better than the White Sox. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see. I'm excited to see him pitch. I hope I can make it out to the Camden Yards to see him pitch once. But I think we're just got to wait really to spring training to really judge this one, to get him to throw in MLB baseball and see what happens. Our next one, I feel like I might be more excited about this than the majority of Orioles fans, is Gary Sanchez. El Gary. Yeah. We signed him for $8.5 million
He's for us. He's with us forever.
Yeah, he's a lifetime contract. But I like this because I remember in 2018, 2019, 2020, basically his entire time with the Yankees, it seemed like he hit a home run every single at bat. And we moved the ball in, so it couldn't hurt him. He's going to be a backup catcher. I think there's a high possibility of us moving him some point this season, or him really, really taking a limited role strictly because of Samuel Basallo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's something, I know if you guys look at our social media stuff, I put out a video the other day. We have insane first base depth. And if Basallo comes up and plays first base, then Gary Sanchez sees more of a role. But he's going to have a more limited role than James McCann did last year. I think this is going to be Adley's first season of really starting at catcher and not DHing half the games.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And we'll see.
He's a league average hitter. He's a better hitter than James McCann, just a slightly worse defender. He is going to have minimal impact on the game, I have a feeling.
Yeah, and then so we got our biggest signing of the year, which is Tyler O'Neill. And it's embarrassing that that's our biggest signing of the year. But yeah, gave him 3 years, $49.5 million. We'll see. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to hit you, 32 home runs this year. I do. I think the biggest thing with him is it takes it because obviously of us losing Santander. It's going to still help our young outfielders grow.
Yeah, and the one thing that scares me is his injury history. He gets hurt a lot, but the one thing that I like about him is that I've liked him for a long time. He's been a frequent member of my championship fantasy baseball teams that I beat Cody in every year.
Yeah. No, not last year. I won the championship.
Okay. So for you that don't know, we're in a fantasy baseball league, and last year was an off year for me. Didn't make the championship, but I did make the championship for the 3 years in a row before that. and I
Moving
only won
on.
one, but I didn't pull the Bills.
Yeah.
Did not pull the Buffalo Bills. But
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler O'Neill, he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be close to Santander. It's gonna hurt having someone else out there in right field for a while. It's gonna sting, but he's good. He's gonna be a platoon guy. He'll DH a little bit. He doesn't do great against righties compared to he mashes lefties. But we're just gonna have to let it play out and see if he can stay healthy. He's gonna be a really good, important part of this team.
Yeah. Speaking of Anthony Santander, we got news earlier today, earlier on Monday, if you're not listening to us today, that he signed with the Toronto Bluejays for 5 years. Was that $90 million? Is that reported?
Yeah,
He just
that's
has to
what
pass
it's
the
been.
physical still.
Yeah, reported 5 years, $90 million, and he's gonna pass his physical.
Yep.
But it's real sad. You hate to see it, especially because I hate the Blue Jays so much.
Yeah.
Like there's a special type of hate that all Orioles fans have for Yankees and the Red Sox type. Like everyone kind of hates those the same as an Orioles fan, but the Blue Jays, there's just something about it. I'll never forget their fans throwing beer cans at Hyun-Soo Kim.
Yeah, I remember that.
Losing them in the playoffs. Jose Bautista just being himself.
Mm-hmm.
And it really sucks to see him go there. But I'll tell you exactly what I told Cody on the phone earlier, because he actually is the one that broke the news to me. I didn't know that he got signed until then.
Yeah, he called me to let me know.
Yeah, right. But I basically said, well, he went and he got his bag. That's what matters. He's paid. I mean, that's generational wealth.
Yeah.
And the most important thing that I could hope for is that he has like a tweak in his shoulder, something minor. We're Capitals fans, and we have two players, Nicholas Backstrom and TJ Oshie, who've been out for like 17 years, it feels like, just with like injuries, and they're still getting paid. That's kind of what I want for Santander. He's got his money, and or if he just doesn't play against the Orioles.
Yeah. I hope that when he comes to Baltimore, he gets a welcome, because
and he 100% will. He deserves it.
I bet the Orioles didn't even hardly give him an offer. You know what I mean? That's the frustrating part for me.
I hope they at least had like a meeting with him, but
they probably offered him the same, something near Tyler O'Neill. So and we gave him 3 years for $49. Because the Orioles. So, and obviously he knew he could do better than that. His camp did, and he did. He did.
I love to see it for him. I love to see it. I have no bad feelings towards him at all. Mm-hmm. I think all Orioles fans know that it was an end, and it sucks. I mean, he's been playing on the team since 2017.
Yeah.
And he's been, a massive impact. I remember watching him. He didn't really get that main starting role until closer to 2019, 2020. I remember watching him during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Tony Two Bags, Tony Taters, whatever you want to call them. I'll never forget sitting in my grandparents' house this past year. I just went over to talk to him for a few minutes. I think I had to drop something off. And the Orioles were playing the Astros, and he hit that grand slam. And I stayed to watch the rest of the game before I left. It was just, he's provided so many special moments.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be the same after this season when Cedric leaves if we don't extend him.
Yeah. And then when Gunnar, and then Adley, and then Heston, and then Cowser.
Don't get so sad. Come on.
Yeah,
we'll extend one of them.
Yeah, the wrong one. Yeah, we're going to. Who are we going to extend? Let me think.
I want Jordan Westberg. I said that last episode.
Yeah, we're going to.
I'd love that. But it's going to be. It's the end of another era of the Orioles. He got you out of the dark times. Just think about it. We could be saying, if we were still bad, oh, well, Richie Martin left in free agency.
Oh, shut up. Oh, God, yes.
But
it does get worse.
That's the thing. We really got out of the dark times. We're into this better era, and he ushered that in. And I think Anthony Santander is going to go down as a lot of people's favorite Oriole. I hope he doesn't have bad feelings. Kind of like when Adam Jones, when he left, it seemed like there was some animosity between the team and him.
Absolutely.
And I know it's better now. I just hope there's no hard feelings or anything that got left after this.
Yeah. All right. Looking at the free agents, that's even practical for the Orioles to sign still, which might not happen because, sadly, Orioles fans, it doesn't seem like much has changed this offseason compared to last offseason. So anyway, moving on from that, obviously pitching-wise, every Orioles fan's favorite, Jack Flaherty, is still there. A 29-year-old pitcher, had a great year last season. That's about it on the starting pitching side. unless
No,
we trade.
no. There's Nick
No,
Pivetta. There's
no.
Andrew Heaney, Max Scherzer,
Okay,
Clayton Kershaw.
no.
It's
Okay,
just no.
no. Max Scherzer on an 8-year deal. That'd be about it. Which he minds. If I was Max Scherzer and somebody offered me that, I would just go home. It's not a big deal. I don't need $1 million. But anyway, I still like JD Martinez. Won't happen.
Yeah.
But I love him to be a designated hitter for us. I think he's one of the best hitters in baseball. And I love his approach. I think he could teach. I think he's going to be a hitting coach someday. That would be an amazing sign for us. That's about all what I'm looking through. I mean, the other thing I would expect to happen is the Orioles to get like a Jose Iglesias, a Paul DeJong, one of those type of guys.
Not want Paul DeJong. Want Paul DeJong.
I know. I'm just telling you, this is the stuff you're going to see.
Yeah.
So it's something like that. You'll see, for instance, just looking like a Whit Merrifield type player.
We'll do, and I'd actually enjoy it. We'll go trade for the Dodgers. We'll go send them just like the tie probably because they're going to win every trade, and we'll get like Miguel Rojas.
Yeah, right.
Which I'd love that. I like Miguel Rojas as a person and stuff. Just not really that much as a player.
Right.
But
we'll see. Who do you want from that list?
Dylan Cease.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want really anybody. Jack Flaherty if it's anyone, but
I know these people. I know these people. We're a half hour into this podcast, and I know these people don't listen to anything this long. But Elijah was getting torn up on social media about him trading, our young stars for somebody. I guess people forget though because they're like, oh, I can't believe he would even say trade these guys. They obviously forgot what we gave up to the Marlins because if they think giving up like a Jackson Holiday is ridiculous, which I think is ridiculous. Don't get rid of him. But they think that's ridiculous. They obviously didn't see what we just gave up for a pitcher that we sent to the minors that only pitched for 3 games with us because he was so bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, let's be realistic, folks. Apparently, teams know how desperate we are for starting pitching, and our price tag is very high because when you see what other teams are trading for, it seems like the Yankees can give up the guy sitting in section 32, row 7, and get
it's ridiculous that they keep all their top prospects.
And meanwhile, we every time it's Jackson, every time, so or whoever, so
or Basayo, Kjerstad, and Mayo all together or something like that.
It's crazy, but so like I said, if you're listening to this still, I want to hear who do you think we should trade? What's a trade that you think is legit? Because I don't think teams value Mountcastle. I don't think teams value Mullins. I don't think teams value any of our veterans as much as Orioles fans do. So I don't think we're going to get much for them unless it's a bullpen middle relief. I think that's about all you're going to get. I think you're going to have to give up one of your prospects that we all think is going to be great. And so that's how I think. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. Like Dylan Cease, you're going to have to give up 2 of our biggest prospects for 1 year, and he's going to do good, just like Burns did good, but then you still don't have any pitching behind him.
That's where we're at. But but to get away from all that, we have some interesting stuff with our podcast. I've been really trying to pump out some more videos on social media, and the reception's been great. I would love for you guys to go comment. Tell us what you want to hear. I mean, there's something that's outside of the normal stuff that you want us to talk about. I mean, if you want me to do a deep dive on the 2014 Delman Young, I will. I'll do it. I'd gladly do that. I mean, like, don't worry. I'm DMing players trying to see if I can get none of them answered to me, but between this and school, I have so many projects I could interview people for. I need anything I can get. Don't worry. Did I slide into DJ Stewart's DMs? Yes, I did.
That's fine. Yeah. So that'd be awesome. Yeah. So if anybody has any cool topics they want to kind of we can have a segment for, we'd love to hear you. Also, if you're listening to this, all right, if you're still listening to us, that means you're dedicated. You have to make sure. You have to make sure you subscribe on YouTube because I think we're like 12 away from 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, please get us there.
So I swear to God, If you are listening to us right now and you are not subscribed on YouTube, this means nothing to anybody but me. It's just I want to see the one little kick.
And this is what we need you to do. Go, you subscribe to YouTube. You go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. And then if you comment banana. Comment banana, and then I will Venmo you $5.
Jeez, I'm gonna comment banana.
Cody, you don't count. But you have to be followed everything, and I will check. So I'm not giving away money for free. Also, if it's too many people, I can't do that. I'm broke. I'm just trying to give an incentive.
Limit of 5 people. The first 5 people get a total $5. Yeah. Because Elijah had to get that flag back there, and he just can't handle anymore now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, but anyway.
Stay tuned. We got some interesting guests lined up soon. We'll be posting on some social media about some of that stuff. But just really stay tuned. We're getting more into the swing of things. Spring training's coming up. Pitchers and catchers report in a few weeks. We're getting down to it.
Yeah, man, it's hard to believe. I mean, in a month or so, we're going to be actually talking about people showing up to the facility. You know what I mean? So, really excited about that. But until next time, everybody, we really can't thank you guys enough for staying with us and staying with us here in season 2, 2025 Baltimore Orioles baseball. We will see you in a couple weeks, and until then, make sure you follow us on everything, subscribe, YouTube, comment. Make sure comment whatever you want to do.
If I say something stupid, tell me.
Yeah, please tell me. He does say a lot of stuff. So anyway, thank you all. We'll see you next time. See you guys.
See ya.